Have you ever jolted awake in the middle of the night, heart pounding, breath shallow, sweat trickling down your back, only to realize it was another nightmare? And have you noticed that, after crossing 60, these unsettling dreams seem to return more often, lingering longer, and leaving a deeper mark on your soul? Most people think nightmares are just random fragments of the mind, forgotten movies, old fears, or a restless meal playing tricks on our sleep. But what if I told you that's not the full story? What if every nightmare you experience after 60 isn't just a chaotic accident, but a carefully wrapped message your body, your heart, and even your spirit are trying to send you before something deeper starts to unravel? For many, this realization comes too late. They brush off the bad dreams, laugh about them in the morning, and miss the warnings whispered through the night. But for those who dare to listen, who dare to wonder why these shadows visit them again and again, something powerful happens. They find healing, peace, and sometimes even a second chance at life they didn't realize they were losing. Today, we're going to walk together into this hidden world, the world behind your nightmares, and uncover what they might really be trying to tell you. It's not about superstition or scary tales. It's about understanding your deeper self, your emotions, your health, and the invisible threads that connect your mind, your body, and your soul after 60. Because the truth is, your nightmares may be the last warning signs before something silent, and possibly serious, begins. If you care about yourself, or about someone you love who has been struggling with restless nights, I hope you'll stay with me. And if at any point you feel this message resonates with you, please consider sharing it. It could be exactly what someone you care about needs to hear before it's too late. Now, let's open the first hidden layer together, the emotional weight we carry without knowing. Many seniors I've spoken to, friends, relatives, even strangers who opened up over quiet conversations, confess something that rarely gets said out loud. That aging isn't just about losing strength or facing illnesses. It's about the silent accumulation of regrets, losses, and unfinished emotional chapters. These aren't always dramatic moments. Sometimes they are tiny things. A goodbye never properly said, a childhood dream slowly abandoned, a friendship that faded away. Over time, these unspoken memories pile up in a hidden corner of the heart. In the busy years of working, raising families, and surviving day by day, they stay tucked away, manageable. But after 60, when life slows down, when the noise outside fades, the inner world grows louder, and when the conscious mind sleeps, these buried emotions rise up, not to haunt you, but to be seen, to be acknowledged, and sometimes to be healed. A nightmare about losing your way in a city, desperately searching for someone, being trapped or falling endlessly. These aren't just random fears. They often symbolize emotional needs left unmet, worries about losing independence, guilt about people we feel we failed, or even fear of becoming invisible to the world we once held close. The mistake many make is thinking these feelings are shameful. They're not. They are a natural part of a life richly lived. Every relationship, every decision, every risk you ever took, they all left traces, sometimes beautiful, sometimes painful. Nightmares are your soul's way of nudging you to pay attention to those echoes before they harden into regrets too heavy to bear. And if you're still with me right now, it means your heart is open. You sense, deep down, that these dreams are not your enemy. They're an invitation, an opportunity. Before we move on, if you're finding these insights meaningful so far, would you kindly share this video? Maybe someone you love is secretly battling the same restless nights. Too ashamed or too confused to speak about them, your simple act of sharing could open a door they didn't know how to walk through. Next, we're going to peel back another layer, the surprising link between nightmares and hidden physical imbalances that often emerge after 60 hours on. Because sometimes, what feels like a purely emotional haunting is your body's desperate cry for attention, As strange as it sounds, sometimes nightmares aren't just born from old memories or emotions. Sometimes they are physical symptoms dressed up in stories, playing out while we sleep. After 60, our bodies start changing in ways we don't always feel during the day. But the night, the night feels everything. Think about it. Your heart beats slower. Your blood sugar levels might dance unpredictably. Your breathing can become shallower without you noticing. Hormones that once shielded your sleep, like melatonin and serotonin, begin to wane, and your nervous system, once sharp and balanced, can become more fragile, more reactive. In that delicate dance between body and mind, small imbalances like low blood sugar, sleep apnea, restless legs, poor circulation can trigger vivid, unsettling dreams. Your brain, desperate to make sense of the physical distress, weaves it into a narrative. Instead of feeling my oxygen dropped, your mind shows you images of drowning, suffocating, being chased. Instead of sensing my heart struggled for a beat, your dream might show you falling from a great height. Most people never connect these dots. They wake up shaken, maybe take a sleeping pill, maybe tell themselves they're just getting old, and they miss the real warning their body tried to send. Nightmares that come frequently, especially after 60, could be your body's quiet alarm system whispering, "Something inside needs your attention." This is not meant to scare you. On the contrary, it's a reminder that you have a chance to listen, to investigate, to care for yourself before a small issue becomes something bigger. If you have been having nightmares that feel unusually intense, or they happen around the same time every night, gently ask yourself, could there be a physical need going unmet? Have I had my blood pressure checked recently? Am I breathing well at night? Or waking up gasping sometimes? Are my sugar levels steady before bed? Is there tightness, discomfort, or pain that I dismiss during the day? Sometimes the most life-changing answers come from the smallest questions. And sometimes, simply adjusting a bedtime routine, adding a light snack, adjusting sleeping positions, treating mild sleep apnea, can quiet the nightmares and restore peaceful sleep more deeply than any medication ever could. If you're still here with me, it tells me something beautiful about you. You're not someone who gives up easily. You're someone who listens deeply to yourself, to the quiet warnings, to the silent invitations to heal. And that gives me so much hope for you. If this resonates with you even a little, would you consider sharing this video? Maybe a sibling, a friend, or someone you used to work with has been silently struggling too. Sometimes they just need a gentle nudge, a reminder that they're not crazy, they're not broken, they're just being invited to listen more closely to their incredible, enduring body. Now, let's journey even deeper, because not all nightmares are rooted in the past or the body. Some are messengers from the soul itself, trying to awaken parts of us that have fallen asleep in the routines of everyday life. And sometimes, these are the most important messages of all. There's something almost sacred about the dreams that come to us in our later years. They are not simply echoes of fear or flickers of discomfort. They are often messages from the deepest, most hidden parts of who we are. After 60, life has already gifted us with countless experiences, countless lessons, and sometimes, the soul begins to speak a language we once knew instinctively, but may have forgotten with time. The language of dreams. When we are young, our dreams often reflect ambition, anxiety, romance, survival. But as we age, especially into our 6th, 7th, and 8th decades, our inner world shifts. We become less concerned with outward battles and more drawn toward inner reconciliations. The unfinished business is no longer about climbing mountains. It is about finding peace with the journey we've walked. And nightmares, yes, even those painful, frightening ones, may not be punishments. They may be reminders to heal old wounds before they harden into regrets, reminders to forgive ourselves for things we did or didn't do, reminders to reconnect with parts of our spirit we buried long ago in the noise of survival. A nightmare where you're lost and alone, maybe asking, where did I lose myself along the way? A nightmare of falling might whisper, what have I been afraid to let go of? A nightmare of someone chasing you may not be about them. It may be about the parts of yourself you've tried to outrun for too long. Grief, guilt, dreams left unlived. And if you're brave enough to listen, to truly sit with these feelings without rushing to push them away, you may find something extraordinary. You may find that these nightmares, frightening as they are also doorways that lead you back to yourself, to the child you once were, to the promises you made and forgot, to the forgiveness you've owed yourself for decades. I know this isn't easy. No one wants to revisit old pain. No one wants to sit alone in the dark with questions that have no simple answers, but there is a strange, fierce kind of beauty in it. Because when you walk through these doorways, you don't walk back into sorrow, you walk forward into freedom. If you're still listening, I want to pause for a moment and honor you. Truly, most people turn away. It's easier to turn on a light, to scroll through a phone, to fill the silence. But you're daring to sit with it, to lean in, to understand yourself more deeply than perhaps you ever have before. That takes courage. That takes wisdom. And if you know someone, perhaps an old friend, a brother, a sister, who might be waking up too often, troubled but unsure why, maybe you can be the one to gently pass this message along. It's not just about nightmares. It's about answering the final invitations life offers us to heal before the clock runs too far. Up ahead, I want to share something even more precious with you, because sometimes the return of nightmares after 60 isn't just about past pain or hidden illnesses. Sometimes it's about the body preparing itself for a great transition. And understanding this can change not only the way you dream, but the way you live every day you still have. There is a quiet truth that few people talk about, even among doctors and caregivers. As we age, especially beyond 60, the body begins a slow, intricate process of preparing for the next great transition, the one we all must eventually face. But the body, in its extraordinary wisdom, rarely shouts, it whispers. It taps us gently through tiny shifts, the way we wake up more often, the way dreams become more vivid, and yes, sometimes, the way nightmares come more urgently, more insistently, as if trying to tell us something important. It's not about fear, it's not about doom, it's about preparation. Just as the trees know when it is time to shed their leaves for winter, the body and the spirit know when it's time to start letting go. Gradually, tenderly, wisely. Recurring nightmares after 60 are sometimes part of this process. They can mirror the hidden anxieties that surface when we sense, even without conscious awareness, that our time is not infinite. Fears of being forgotten, fears of losing control, fears of unfinished business left behind. But these nightmares are not punishments. They are invitations. Invitations to attend to the things that truly matter while there is still time. The words unsaid, the forgiveness withheld, the love delayed. Nightmares of being trapped might symbolize the ways we feel stuck in old roles, old identities. When our spirit longs to be free, dreams of wandering through empty streets could be the soul's way of asking us to find meaning again, even in the quieter chapters of life. And sometimes, dreams of great storms, of overwhelming forces beyond our control, aren't warnings of danger. They are reflections of the vast, natural power of life itself, reminding us that surrender is not defeat, it's grace. If you're hearing this and feeling a stirring inside, a recognition you can't quite put into words, please know that it's not strange. You are not broken. You are simply awakening to a deeper wisdom, one that has always been within you, waiting patiently for you to notice. And if you are still here, still listening, I hope you feel what a miracle that is. In a world that rushes past, in a society that often looks away from anything uncomfortable, you are choosing to stay present. You are choosing to walk through the dreamscape of your own life with your eyes and your heart wide open. If any part of you feels that this message could help someone else, Someone who has been struggling alone with restless nights and heavy dreams? Please share it. You never know whose heart you might touch, whose peace you might help restore. Because here's the quiet truth. Nightmares aren't just about what's wrong. They're often about what still needs to be made right. And in a moment, I'll share with you something even more precious. A way to gently respond to these dreams, not with fear, not with resistance, but with understanding, tenderness, and a quiet kind of healing that can change the way you sleep and live from this night forward. When nightmares return again and again after 60, it's natural to feel helpless, even frightened. But what if I told you there's another way to meet them? Not with fear, not with resistance, but with tenderness. Because here's the quiet secret very few people understand. Nightmares do not want to harm you. They want to be heard. Imagine for a moment that your nightmares are like an old friend, one you lost touch with long ago. They knock on the door, not to scold you, but to offer you something you may have forgotten you needed. Understanding, closure, a chance to heal parts of yourself you didn't even know were still waiting. The next time you wake up breathless, shaken from a dream that feels too vivid, too heavy, try this. Instead of pushing it away, sit quietly for a moment. Let your breathing slow, gently, without judgment. Ask yourself, what was the feeling at the heart of this dream? Not the details, the running, the falling, the fear, but the feeling underneath. Was it loneliness, regret, a longing for safety, a call for forgiveness? When you can name the feeling, you take back the power. The nightmare stops being a monster in the dark and becomes a message carried on fragile wings. Sometimes, simply writing the dream down the next morning helps. Sometimes speaking it aloud, even just to yourself, releases its grip. And sometimes, placing a hand on your own heart and whispering, "I hear you, I'm listening now," is enough to quiet the storm inside. The beauty is that you don't have to find all the answers. You don't have to solve every mystery or heal every old wound overnight. Healing, especially after 60, isn't about fixing, it's about honoring. Honoring the life you've lived, the feelings you've carried, the battles you've fought, and the love you still have left to give. If you're still here with me now, it tells me you have a rare kind of courage, the kind that doesn't run from the hard questions, but leans into them, gently, bravely. And if you know someone, maybe a dear friend, a neighbor, a family member, who has been silently struggling with restless nights, maybe you can offer them this simple truth. Nightmares are not punishments, they are unfinished conversations, and it's never too late to listen. If you found any comfort in these words, please consider sharing them. You never know whose night, whose heart, whose life you might help ease by simply passing on a message of hope. And before we close today, I want to leave you with one final, precious reminder, because beyond all the fear, all the memories, all the silent battles you fight in the dark, there is something even stronger waiting to be reclaimed. A quiet power, a deep peace, a light that has never gone out and never will, even through the darkest dreams. Even when the night feels endless and heavy, something inside you has always remained untouched, a quiet, stubborn flame that no fear can extinguish, a resilience that no nightmare can truly break. You see, the fact that you wake up again and again means that the deepest part of you, the part that knows hope, the part that remembers love, the part that holds on to life, refuses to be lost. Nightmares may visit, but they can never claim that light. That light is yours. It always has been, and it is stronger than you think. Sometimes, after 60, after 70, after 80, the world forgets to remind us of this. It tells us about decline, about loss, about endings, but rarely does it whisper the deeper truth, that aging is also a return to the purest parts of ourselves, a return to the wisdom that was always there beneath the noise, a return to the simple, breathtaking gift of being alive. So if you find yourself waking from another dream that shakes you, know this: you have survived every hard night before. You are still here. You are still needed. You are still capable of healing, loving, dreaming, even now, especially now. And if you find yourself afraid, place a hand over your heart, feel its quiet strength, whisper to yourself, even if your voice trembles, I am listening, I am learning, I am still becoming. You are not broken. You are not too late. You are not finished. You are a story still unfolding, a melody still being written, a light still rising in the darkness. If these words have touched even the smallest corner of your heart, I ask you to carry them forward. Share them with someone who needs to remember who they are, someone who needs to know they are not alone in the night. Because sometimes, one kind word, one soft reminder, can be the light that leads someone else out of their own nightmare and into the gentle morning waiting just beyond it. Thank you for walking this journey with me today. Thank you for trusting your heart to listen. And above all, thank you for still choosing to hope. Until we meet again, may your nights grow softer, may your dreams grow kinder, and may your spirit stay forever brave.